In 2009, the Trädgårdsföreningen, Horticultural Society of Linköping, celebrates its 150 years anniversary. Here by the entrance are two villas, on which building began in 1864. They were closer to each other in the beginning than they are now. The villa on the western side became the home of Christian Kronér, head of the society, and the one on the eastern side, the house for apprentices, as well as the Trädgårdsföreningens first seed shop. The houses have recently been renovated, and the one on the eastern side is used as a skådebanan. A beautiful garden had already been designed by the 1820s by Dr. Åhman. Here the citizens of Linköping could take a walk, enjoy fresh air and recreation. At that time there were two pavilions. Today just the yellow one is left, in the area of the park that lies towards Djurgårdsgatan. The park was initially a place for giving the local people an oasis with fresh air. But maybe it was first and foremost a plant nursery, where one could learn gardening and fruit growing. That something like this was missing had already been established in 1824 in the papers of the Östergötlands Hushållningskunskap Society, when Bishop Marcus Wallenberg was active. Establishing a horticultural society was a phenomenon of that time. The 19th century was the century for urban parks. The Royal Horticultural Society was formed in 1804 in England, and in Stockholm the Swedish Trädgårdsföreningen was founded in 1832. This was followed in 1842 by Gothenburg, and the third horticultural society to be established in the country was in Linköping in 1859. The two societies still functioning today are found in Gothenburg and Linköping. By 1860, already 7,000 fruit trees and 16,000 park trees had been planted. At last, after several decades, it had become a real park, with walks, and on account of that, a viewing tower was built at the highest point in the Trädgårdsföreningen. Earlier it was the hill where people were hanged. The tower was called the Belvedere, which means lovely view. The restaurant, Schweizeriet, was built in the same year. There was also a summer restaurant built in a Moorish style, a wooden building with a lot of gingerbread work. In the middle of the house was a winter garden, which was like an inner court of light on both floors. The house has been built on many times over the years. The popular restaurant sadly burnt down in 1977. Many citizens of Linköping would like to see it rebuilt. A music pavilion was also built, where open-air concerts could be enjoyed. In the 1890s, there were many balloon ascents in the park. A reporter from Korren who came along gave a very vivid description of the balloon journey and how difficult it was to halt in an open field. In 1894, the Trädgårdsföreningen was dissolved and became a communal foundation, which it still is to this day. In the years 1912 and 1913, some old wooden buildings were moved here. This was in a period where one believed that Trädgårdsföreningen was like an Östgötsk Skansen. Krogfallstugan, a cabin from the 18th century, contained old interior country-style furnishings. That was the initial beginning of the Östergötland County Museum, who still owns the house. One would visit several times a year to look at the objects. The Tropical House is the latest building, which opened in 2004 as an extension to the greenhouse. The last 10 years has seen a comprehensive renovation, plantings and buildings. The park has been redesigned many times over the years, which old photos clearly show. On a walk through the park, you can see many exciting flower beds with exotic plants. Now that you have had enough of flowers and trees, turn into Linnégatan after the Tropical House, where you will walk a few blocks until you get to Repslagaregatan. There you turn left and stop in front of Arbis.